So this is the second part in series on GPRS. In part 1, we have discussed the concept of GPRS, wherein the GSM user can be facilitated with packet transmission over GSM. We have also seen the coding schemes pertaining to GPRS, that is right from CS1, CS2, CS3 and CS4, and the data rates that are possible under different coding schemes also we have discussed. We have further discussed the actual data rates that can be attained are lesser when compared to theoretical because of different reasons. Now we will continue our discussion on general packet radio system in this part. GPRS coding schemes and data rates theoretical. Here I have summed up different coding schemes and the data rate that can be attained theoretically with a single time slot and with all the 8 time slots allotted to the same user, single user. Under coding scheme 1, a data rate of 9.05 kbps per time slot can be achieved if all 8 time slots are allotted to the same user. So 9.05 into 8, 72.4 kilobits per second can be attained theoretically. Similarly, CS2, so for single time slot, the data rate is 13.4 kilobits per second, and for 8 time slots 107.2. Just multiply this 13.4 with 8. Then in case of coding scheme 3, so if single time slot is allotted, the data rate that can be achieved is 15.6, and in case of all the 8 time slots allotted to the same user, you can have 15.6 into 8, that is 124.8 kilobits per second. In case of CS4, you can achieve 21.4 kilobits per second per time slot, and you can achieve 171.2 kilobits per second if all the 8 time slots of a carrier are allotted to a single user. So this is the summing up of the different coding schemes and the data rates in case of a single time slot allotment and 8 time slots allotment. If the time slots allotted is n, that is less than 8, n is less than 8, so the data rates achievable will be single time slot data rate multiplied by n. If somebody in CS3 is allotted 3 time slots, so the data rate achievable is 15.6 into 3. So that is how we have to compute. Here I have computed for a single time slot and for all the 8 time slots put together. Let us continue our discussion. Here we will look into the GPRS integration with GSM. How GPRS, that is General Packet Radio System, how data communication is possible for a mobile user using the GSM network, and what are all the additional network elements that are required for enabling the GSM network to provide data communication for the mobile users. This is the first line, if you can see. This is the normal GSM network. So SIM plus mobile equipment or your mobile handset or the mobile station technically called is one part, user part. This is the base station subsystem consisting of BTS and BSC. This is all we are familiarized with GSM architecture. And you will have MSC bar VLR, which is connected to gateway MSC, which is in turn connected to public switch telephone network, that is for landline network. So this is under MSC bar GMSC are attached with EIR equipment ID register and HLR home location register and AUC authentication purpose authentication center. So up to this, all these elements are known to us with reference to GSM network. For providing data facility to the mobile user, two important network elements are added to the network. They are the BSC is not only connected to MSC for voice communication, BSC is also connected to what is known as SGSN for data communication. SGSN stands for Serving GPRS Support Node. This is similar to MSC for voice communication. This is for data communication, or you can say for internet. SGSN is further connected to gateway GSN or gateway GPRS support node. This is similar to gateway MSC. Through this, you can access internet. Of course, the other access available is PLMN, Public Land Mobile Network. Suppose a telecom operator mobile user may not only dial the same telephone operator mobile numbers, but he may dial the other operators mobile numbers also. If that is the case, through PLMN network, Public Land Mobile Network. That means it is a mobile network other than in the defense restricted area. That is the meaning of Public Land Mobile Network. Further, we will continue our discussion on GPRS. Now, in this slide, we will try to discuss some more details about the GPRS network or the architecture. So we will look into this architecture. So these are the BTSs. They are connected to BSC. Here one network element is added to BSC. One subnetwork is added, that is called PCU, Packet Control Unit, because it has to provide data comm facility. So this PCU helps in providing connectivity to SGSN for facilitating the data communication or internet access. Okay, already we have seen GGSN and all. Of course, in between one gateway is there. This is BG, border gateway. So through which this GPRS network is connected to Public Land Mobile Network, as I have explained. So to access the mobile network of the same operator and also to access the mobile network of the other telecom service providers. Let us go through the contents of this slide. GPRS network adds the following elements to an existing GSM network. GPRS simply adds some more network elements to the GSM network. It is not totally new network. No new network is developed, but for adding certain new elements required for facilitating data communication. One is packet control unit in BSC. This one. This PCU is added to the BSC. So the BSC of GPRS network is the old GSM BSC with addition of PCU, packet control unit, for data communication. Then this one, SGSN, serving GPRS support node, SGSN, which can be considered as the MSC of the GPRS network. As I already told, so it is similar to MSC. MSC provides voice communication, whereas SGSN facilitates data communication. SGSN, I repeat, stands for serving GPRS support node. Then you have gateway GPRS support node, gateway to external networks. This is the GGSN, gateway GPRS support node, gateway GPRS support node for connecting to external network like internet or any other data network. For simplicity, I have shown only internet, which we are more interested in discussion. Then another add-on network element is border gateway BG, a gateway to other public land mobile network. This BG facilitates connecting to other public land mobile network. So this mobile user of a operator not only accesses the mobile number of the same operator, but he has to access the mobile numbers of the other operators also. This BG helps in accessing the mobile network of any operator, including its own network. Further, we will continue. Now, having understood about GPRS, the next high-end version is EDGE, which stands for Enhanced Data Rates for GSM Evolution. So GP EDGE is a next step in providing the high-speed internet access or data communication. So it is GPRS plus in a layman language. Okay. EDGE stands for Enhanced Data Rates for GSM Evolution. This is the acronym. GPRS is considered as 2.5G. So like second generation, it is considered as 2.5 generation. And whereas EDGE is considered as the 2.75G. So it is enhanced version over GPRS. If GPRS is considered as 2.5G, so this can be considered as 2.75G. So 2.75G is almost provides the speeds that are possible with the third generation mobile network. So that is why I have mentioned as almost 3G, but not 3G. Okay, so it is approaching the data speeds attainable approaches 3G network. This is in between 2G and 3G. EDGE is also known as Enhanced GPRS. The other name for EDGE is eGPRS, Enhanced GPRS. EDGE, the 2.75G, follows different modulation and coding schemes, MCS, and provides enhanced rates than GPRS. So EDGE follows, just like GPRS follows different coding schemes, here it follows different modulation and coding schemes together, MCS, modulation and coding speeds and provides higher rates than GPRS. Edge provides high-speed data bar internet when compared to the GPRS, that is the 2.5G. It is self-explanatory. Further, we will continue our discussion. So in this slide, we will try to understand edge modulation adaptation, how modulation process takes place in edge to facilitate high-speed data when compared to GPRS. The 2G GSM edge, that is 2.75G, radio interface utilizes a different form of modulation to achieve high data rates. So the edge utilizes a slightly different form of modulation with respect to GSM. What is that? We will try to understand. The 2G GSM edge radio interface, that is the link between, radio interface is the link between base station and the base station controller or BTS and BSC. The 2G GSM edge radio interface built on GSM, utilizing the same time slot and bus structure used for GSM, but adopted a different form of modulation to achieve its higher data rates. So it uses same GSM slot and data bus structure, but it adopts a different modulation technique to achieve higher data or high-speed data. The edge radio interface was designed to be compatible with and work alongside the GSM radio interface so that the same base station could run basic GSM, GPRS and edge simultaneously. So the edge is designed in such a way that so it can work along with the same GSM base station. You need not change the base station. So the same base station serves for normal voice communication GSM or the GPRS with some high speed data and edge still higher speed data simultaneously. Depending upon the requirement, the same base station can run either it may be GSM or GPRS or it may be edge. The adaptation of this approach for radio interface also provided a much lower upgrade cost than adopting a completely new interface, although users have to buy new phones to run edge and benefit from the improved data capabilities. So the adoption is such a way that so with lower upgrade, very much lower upgrade of the network, so it is possible to achieve high speed through edge. But however, the mobile instrument, that ME, mobile equipment, should be edge compatible. So that means users should have a mobile instrument which can support edge facility also, high speed data facility also. For GPRS also, the simple GSM mobile equipment cannot provide data communication. So a GPRS compatible instrument is required. In case of edge also, the edge compatible mobile equipment is required, apart from some more network elements added to the GSM network. The network elements added are nothing but the network elements added for GPRS, even in case of edge, but for change in modulation and coding schemes. GSM edge modulation. We will further discuss about the modulation concept of edge. One of the ways in which 2G GSM edge evolution is able to provide higher data rates is to use a different modulation scheme, which we have already discussed. However, the GMSK, Gaussian minimum shift keying modulation scheme used for GSM system is still used for the lower data rates. In case of edge also, GMSK modulation can be used. GMSK modulation is used for GSM network. The same modulation can be used, but however it offers lesser data rates. What is the rates in case of GMSK modulation and what is the rates by following the other modulation techniques we will see in the ensuing slides. GMSK was chosen for the original GSM system for a variety of reasons. Here I have summarized the reason why GMSK, that is Gaussian minimum shift keying modulation, was chosen for GSM. There are three reasons basically which directs the GSM to use GMSK modulation. One is it is resilient to noise when compared to many other forms of modulation. GMSK modulation is superior in case of noise environment when compared to other modulation techniques. That is one reason why GMSK is preferred in GSM network. Radiation outside the accepted band is lower than other forms of phase shift keying. So if you go for GMSK, it facilitates the advantage of radiation effects. The radiation is lower outside the accepted band when compared to other forms of phase shift keying. That is why we prefer GMSK for GSM. It has a constant power level. The another beauty of GMSK is it gives constant power level, which allows or facilitates high efficiency RF power amplifiers to be used in the handset and thereby reducing current consumption and conserving the battery life. Since GMSK modulation gives constant power, so therefore you can go for high efficiency RF amplifiers in the handset. So high power amplifiers facilitates reducing the current consumption of the battery. Therefore, the battery of the GSM mobile lasts for long because of GMSK modulation, because of the superiority of the constant power level. So it is more advantageous. So here we have seen three different reasons why GMSK is preferred in GSM system. Further, we will discuss some more about this GMSK, Gaussian minimum shift keying modulation. GMSK, Gaussian minimum shift keying, is a form of signal modulation that is used in a number of portable radio and wireless applications. So GMSK is not only used in mobile handsets, they are also used in various portable radio and wireless applications. It has advantages in terms of spectral efficiency. So it is advantageous as far as the spectral efficiency. As we know, spectral efficiency refers to the number of bits that can be transmitted in a single symbol. Per symbol, how many bits you can transmit or receive is the spectral efficiency. As well as having an almost constant amplitude. So another advantage of GMSK is constant amplitude it will produce, which allows for the use of more efficient transmitter power amplifiers, as we have already discussed. So this facility, because of the constant amplitude, you can use efficient transmit power amplifiers, thereby saving on current consumption, a critical issue for battery power equipment. This is what we have discussed. It is presenting in other form what we have discussed in earlier slide. GMSK gains its name from the fact it is filtered using Gaussian filter. Why we call GMSK modulation is because the filter used is Gaussian filter. In order to enable higher data rates for edge, a form of phase modulation known as octernary phase shift keying or 8PSK was used in case of edge. So we use a phase modulation which is known as octernary phase shift keying or 8PSK. Generally, we use 8PSK more often than this full name as octernary phase shift keying. We will continue our discussion on this modulation and other aspects of it. So further, we will continue to discuss about 8PSK. Okay, octernary phase shift keying modulation has a number of advantages and therefore it was chosen for carrying high-speed edge data. 8PSK can operate within the existing GSM or GPRS channel structure. So one of the main advantages is 8PSK can operate within the existing GSM or GPRS channel structure. You need not change the channel structure for edge operation because of 8PSK. 8PSK can operate with the existing GSM or GPRS channel bandwidth. The channel bandwidth also the same. What is the channel bandwidth of GSM or GPRS? We all know it is 200 kilohertz. So same channel bandwidth is sufficient for edge because of 8PSK. It can operate with the existing GSM or GPRS channel coding structure also. Channel coding structure also we need not change. Same pattern of channel coding structure also we can follow for edge because of 8PSK. The 8PSK provides a higher data capability than the existing GSM GMSK modulation scheme. Okay, here the details are given. GPRS uses GMSK modulation, which can support 1 bit per symbol. The efficiency of GMSK modulation is 1 bit per symbol. Edge uses both GMSK and 8PSK modulation and supports 8 bits per symbol in case of good channel condition. If the channel condition is good, so edge uses 8PSK. 8 means 2 to the power of 3. That means you can transmit 3 symbols sorry, 3 bits per a symbol. Suppose if the channel condition is not good, so it falls down to the GMSK modulation, wherein you can achieve the efficiency of 1 bit per symbol. So the same thing is given here. Edge uses both GMSK and 8PSK modulation and supports 3 bits per symbol in case of good channel condition by using 8PSK and 1 bit per symbol for bad channel condition, that is by adopting GMSK. Then what we have to understand is edge, depending upon the channel condition, either it may use GMSK in case of bad channel condition. If it is the channel condition is good, it may use 8PSK so that you can achieve more efficiency as far as the number of bits per symbol is concerned. So 3 times more you can achieve by 8PSK. 8 represents 2 to the power of 3. Therefore, 3 bits per symbol. So edge modulation and coding schemes, MCS. So here there are 9 modulation and coding schemes. Here in this figure, I have represented. So I will discuss in detail about MCS9 using 8PSK. So wherein you will get a data rate of 59.2 kilobits per second per time slot. If it is 8 time slots, you have to multiply by 8. Okay, that is how we have to compute it. This is your base station. This is the MCS 9 zone, very near to BTS. Next MCS 8. This is MCS 9 zone. This is MCS 8 zone, MCS 7 zone, MCS 6 zone, MCS 5 zone, 4 zone, 3 zone, 2 zone, and this zone 1. Okay. So for easy understanding, let us assume that the BTS can provide mobile communication up to a radius of 4.5 kilometers. For easy understanding in a layman language, so MCS modulation code scheme 9 is provided, say up to 0.5 kilometers radius. So this is 0.5. 0.5 to 0.1, sorry, 0.5 to 1 MCS 8 coding scheme is followed. Modulation and coding scheme 8 is followed. 1 to 1.5, 7 is followed. 1.5 to 2, 6 is followed. 2 to 2.5, 5 is followed. 2.5 to 3, 4 is followed. 3 to 3.5, 3 is followed. Here 4 is followed. Here don't confuse with 0.5 kilometer difference. I am giving example for different modulation schemes. This 3.5 kilometers to 4 kilometers MCS 2 is followed. Beyond 4 kilometer up to the edge, say in our example we have considered maximum distance that this BTS can cover is up to 4.5 kilometers. That is MCS 1 is followed. So then we will see different modulation schemes and the data rates applicable. We will look into it in the next slide. Here I have tabulated the modulation and coding schemes in Edge with reference to the MCS number and coding rate and modulation format, because we have 2 different modulation formats for Edge. One is GMSK for bad channel condition and 8 PSK for good channel condition, and the data rate per single time slot. For a number of time slots more than one, you have to multiply these figures with the respective number of time slots. So let us look into the first coding scheme, MCS1. Effective coding rate is only 0.53, not 100%, 0.53. Here modulation format is GMSK and the data rate per time slot in kilobits per second is 8.8. In case of MCS2, the effective coding rate is 0.66, modulation format GMSK, and data rate per time slot is 11.2 kilobits per second. Like this, MCS3, it is 0.8, GMSK 14.8 kilobits per second per time slot. Okay, MCS4, effective coding rate 1.0, GMSK modulation up to MCS4, that is channel condition bad, GMSK only followed, 17.6 is the data rate per time slot. MCS5, coding rate 0.37, 8 PSK 22.4, MCS6 0.49, coding rate 8 PSK. Okay, that means channel condition is good. 29.6 is the bit rate per time slot. MCS 7.76, 8 PSK, data rate is 44.8 per time slot. MCS 8, the effective coding rate is 0.92, 8 PSK is the modulation format, and the data rate is 54.4 kilobits per second. In case of MCS 9, effective coding rate is 1.0 or 1, whatever you call it, 8 PSK modulation, and the maximum data rate is achievable. Here is 59.2 per time slots. If it is 4 time slots, if a user gets 4 time slots, you have to multiply 59.2 with 4. If all 8 time slots are allotted, you have to multiply this 59.2 with 4. Okay, sorry, 8. So it is around 480 kilobits per second. That is the maximum theoretical possible. Now let us sum up what we have discussed. We have continued in this session about GPRS coding schemes and data rates with the help of a table. Then we have seen how to integrate the GPRS with GSM network. So what are the network elements we have to add to the GPRS network when compared to GSM? Then GPRS network architecture we have seen what are the different add-on elements, that is SGSN, then GGSN, then border gateway we have seen. Then we have understood enhanced data rates for GSM evolution, that is about GSM 2.75 generation. Then we have seen edge modulation adaptation, how modulation is adopted in edge we have seen. We understood GMSK, Gaussian minimum shift keying. We have also studied about 8 PSK. We have seen 8 PSK versus GMSK depending upon the channel condition. If the channel condition is good, edge follows 8 PSK, wherein the efficiency is 3 bits per second, 3 bits per symbol. In case of bad channel condition, it obeys GMSK and the efficiency is 1 bit per symbol. So we have seen the edge modulation schemes and data rates right from MCS 1 to MCS 9. MCS 9 provides for a very good channel condition, and when the user is very much near to the BTS, so it can provide with the help of 8 PSK up to 59.2 kilobits per second per time slot. So that is the theoretically highest possible. So this is all what I wanted to discuss in this session. So once again, I request you, please subscribe to my channel, youtube.com/c/Haribab Damarla, and give your comments in your comments box. We will conclude on GPRS barrage in our third session, in the next session. Thank you very much for participating in this